Okay, in this lesson video, we are just going to do the operations with polynomials, adding, subtracting, and multiplying. And we will do division later on because that's a little bit more involved, but for right now, we're just going to add, subtract, and multiply. So let's start with adding. Very basic. If there's an addition sign in between the two polynomials, that's just combining like terms. You're going to drop the parentheses and combine the like terms, and we want to make sure our final answer is always in standard form. So we're going highest exponent to lowest exponent. So if I look here, I'm going to say, what's my highest exponent that I have? I've got a 4k to the fourth over here, and I've got another 3k to the fourth over here. Excuse me. And then I have a fourth power. I don't have anything to the third power. I don't have anything to the second power. I do have a positive 5k and a negative 2k that I can put together. And then I have a positive 4 and a positive 2. And when I combine my like terms, going from highest exponent to lowest, I would get 7k to the fourth plus 3k plus 6 by combining. Okay? So go ahead and you can try this next one on your own and see what you get, and then double check with my answer when you're done, or raise your hand if you have any questions. Okay, with this one we added our v's to the fourth and we got 11v to the fourth. Our v's, 6v minus 6v, canceled each other out, so you have no v's, and then you combined your constants and got negative 7. Okay. You also can do subtracting with polynomials, and when you subtract, if you notice there's a subtraction sign in between the two, not an addition sign. If you remember, subtraction is just the same thing as adding the opposite. So I'm going to go ahead and change the subtraction sign to an addition, and I'm going to add the opposite of everything after. So I'm going to have that positive 8 is going to become a negative 8, that negative 2 is going to become a positive 2, and that positive 4 is going to be a negative 4. And then I can go ahead and I can combine my like terms. So I'm going to start with my highest exponent again. I've got negative 8n to the fourth and negative 8n to the fourth. Then I go to my third power. I've got positive 3n to the third, positive 2n to the third. Then I've got negative 3n and negative 4n. And since I changed it to addition, now I can just go ahead and combine my like terms. And if I put my fourth powers together, I should get negative 16n to the fourth. If I put my third powers together, I get plus 5n to the third. And then if I put my n's together, I get negative 7n. Again, go ahead and try this other one over here, and then check and see if you agree. Okay, you should have got 8a to the fourth minus a squared, or minus 1a squared, minus 3. Please raise your hand if you have any questions or if you got anything different. So the other thing we're going to do today is multiplying polynomials, and we are going to multiply using the box method. You can also use the distributive method, but that when you start having bigger polynomials that you're multiplying together, that can get a little bit difficult with how you do that. So we're going to multiply using the box method. So we are going to make a box. This first factor here has 3 terms, so it's a trinomial. The second one has 2 terms, it's a binomial. And so we are going to make a box that is 3 by 2. So let's go ahead here and make our box so that it is 3 by 2. And just like when we were factoring with the box method, we can go ahead and put those factors on the outside. So I would have x minus 3 on one side, that's the two side one. And then I'd have x squared plus 2x plus 4 on this one. And then if you remember how we do this, we just go and we say x times x squared is x to the third. Remember, when we multiply, we add exponents. X times 2x is 2x squared, and x times 4 is 4x. Then we come down to the negative 3. Negative 3 times x squared is negative 3x squared. Negative 3 times 2x is negative 6x. And negative 3 times 4 is negative 12. Then what we're going to do is we are going to notice that we have some like terms here that we can combine, and we have some like terms here that we can combine. And our final answer is going to be x to the third. Oops. And then we combine our blue highlight I have there. I have negative 3x squared, positive 1x squared is negative 1x squared. And then the green highlight there, when I put those together, I get negative 2x and then minus 12. Okay. On this next one, if you notice, it's a trinomial. It's 3 terms by 3 terms, so I need to make a box that is 3 by 3. Like so. I'm going to put my terms on the outside, so I'm going to have 3x squared, x, and negative 2. Then we have negative 4x squared, negative 2x, and negative 1. Okay, so then if we're going to multiply these together, we're just going to go through the process again. Negative 4x squared times 3x squared is negative 12x to the fourth, because we add our exponents. Negative 4x squared times x is negative 4x to the third. Negative 4x squared times negative 2 is 8x squared. And moving on to our next row, negative 2x times 3x squared is negative 6x to the third, because we add our exponents. Then we get negative 2x squared and positive 4x. All right, moving on to our third row, negative 1 times 3x squared is negative 3x squared, negative 1x, and positive 2. So let's go ahead and combine our like terms. We've got x to the thirds here. We've got x squareds, and we've got x's. So if we put it in standard form, we're going to have negative 12x to the fourth. If we put together our x to the thirds, that's negative 10x to the third. If we put our green highlights together, we get 3x squared, and then we have plus 3x plus 2. And it is in standard form from highest to lowest with our exponents. All right, last thing we're going to talk about, and you can go ahead and finish these on your own. I can put what the answer is so you can see. But when you have more than 2 things you're multiplying together, you need to multiply the 2 of them first and then multiply by the third. Kind of if you were going to say 3 times 5 times 2, you would multiply 2 of them together to get 15 and then multiply again to get the last one. So you're going to do the same thing when you're multiplying these. And you would say x minus 1 times x plus 4. You can either use the box method or you can FOIL. If I multiply these 2 together, I would get x squared plus 4x minus 1x minus 4, which would be x squared plus 3x minus 4. And then I just need to multiply that times x plus 5. If I use my box method to do that, okay, again, I would have a 3 by 2, and you can go ahead and build your box and figure out what your answer would be. So take a second, build your box on that one. And then I would also like for you to do this one down here, because remember, 2x plus 1 to the third power, you are not distributing that third power to everything on the inside. When you just have a third power like that with a binomial, that means you're taking 2x plus 1 times 2x plus 1 times 2x plus 1. So you need to multiply your 2x plus 1 together. And when you multiply those 2 together, you would get 4x squared plus 2x plus 2x plus 1, which is 4x squared plus 4x plus 1. And then you'd have to multiply it by that last 2x plus 1. And again, since that's a 3 by 2, you'd have to build your box. And you would have like that. So go ahead, pause the video, and finish up those last 2, and see if you agree with what I got. Okay, so hopefully if you finished those out, built your box, and actually multiplied them out, that is what you should have gotten. If you did not, please ask and we can help out. So your homework assignment for this is, it'll be in Schoology. It's a worksheet in Schoology that has adding, subtracting, and multiplying polynomials.